it's harder to be an athlete in any sports these days because people specialize in such an earlier age. I can give out, like, even in team sports, I have a son that was playing hockey and soccer at the same time. And like maybe a generation one or two before, they can do hockey and soccer up till they're like 14, 15. But now you kind of like get to 11, 12, you have to pick because there's so many trainings and things you have to do. You can't do both of them. And in action sport too, like obviously you have more competition and influences. Some places in the world have the best facilities, and like if you live far away, it's going to always make it harder. But it comes to the drive of the kid, and I think like you can still grow and be successful after you kind of grow like from 16 and up. And like in some sports, people don't really flower before they're 21 plus, before like their finished development, and they get a little better, smarter in their head to see things. But like I don't know what to tell to a kid, but I like, for a parent's perspective, like you like it's nice to have a trophy child, but let the kid kind of choose the things. Don't be too pushy. Just lead the way and make it possible for what the kid wants. And if you are a sporty parent or not, I think doing a lot of different things can also keep the attraction for a kid. Succeeding or not succeeding, if you know a lot of different sports when you're 18, like when you're done with like, okay, I'm not going to be professional in anything, but then you only know one sport instead of like many, and then you can have fun with activities because it's only a few small percentage of who's going to make a career out of it. But if you're determined and whatever, I think you have to just look at what other people do, because a lot of the things now it's so hardcore. So it's actually about taking care of yourself. Like you can learn new tricks and whatever, but then you have to make sure you can take care of yourself and keep doing it on for years. And then, like I said too, like we kind of learn as we go. We start filming videos with Super 8 and 16 millimeter, but now you can film everything yourself with your buddies, and you kind of like you have to sell yourself. You have to make these things to and that what makes money. Now you have YouTubers making more money than TV channels, and things been changing and progress has been changing. So keep yourself updated. But my advice is like, don't get stuck too much on the social media, but like and being active and doing things. I think that creates also a healthy mind. I think there's a lot of depressing things you can find out if you get stuck, sitting around and being caught up in everything. Like we spoke about a lot of negative things now, like that is not that cool and whatever, and you can get caught up on it, or you can just oversee it and focus on the more natural things, holistic things, whatever you want to call it. But I think that's keeps my drive. Like if people go like, why do you train and stay or like be active? Like, well, I like to do things, and if I couldn't go skateboarding, play soccer, whatever, I lose a big part of my lifestyle that makes me happy. And I have friends that are only 35 and they quit playing soccer because they don't take care of their legs. They have hamstring problems. They're always hurt. But if they maybe put 10, 15 minutes into their body every day, they could still have their one thing they love the most in their life. Now they only have work and kids with no sport, and then you can see and they fall apart. The life gets not that exciting and happy. And I think I'm good at having fun at diverse conditions, kind of. I do have a lot of toys in the garage. That helps. I have a lot of wheels. I have a lot of for different types of conditions. And like I said too, like I'm not a tennis player, but fuck, it's pretty fun to play tennis sometimes or do something else, just to, appreciate the things you like the most too. Come back to it.
And always challenging yourself.
And that's my tips or like my, things. And, I can see some young people are really good at picking things up and whatever. And some people maybe just misled or getting too pushy or getting too serious. And, they don't think it's fun, and they're doing it for the wrong reasons, and it's hard, like I wouldn't say every contest I went to was fun, whatever, like, it was, sometimes it was not that cool, whatever, but in general, everything I do, I think it's, fun. And I was like, I'm not like, oh, I need to have fun. I'm trying to have fun. I'm not that, like, I just do things and then they develop from there.
That was powerful. And I love what you said. You spoke about the parents, the parents giving their children the ability to create what they want and supporting them instead of trying to get their children to conform to what they want their children to do or what they think their children should do. Or, a parent, I see it all the time. I see parents constantly saying, you should be doing this because this is how you're going to make a good career and a lot of money. But the child is dreaming of doing something different, but the child's forced to conform to the parents' ideologies because that's what the parents driving them. Where if the parents would just allow the children to dream, allow the children to create and support that, regardless of what's going to happen, I think the children would be a lot happier. I think you definitely would see less depression and all these issues in children. I just feel like children are just, forced to do things that they don't really want to do, or they just get stuck in social media world, living somebody else's dreams by just diving into that and losing themselves in the process.
Yeah. To get back to maybe a thing I forgot was if there's any tips that like the audition part of getting to a sponsor stage or being recognized or getting sponsored that you can make a career. The audition part is always a contest, like in the 90s, a lot of us did contests a little bit. As soon as there were sponsors, they quit doing contests because they didn't like it, and they just did like the filming, the backcountry, and change, because the only way in was kind of like the contest to get recognized and seen. But now it's totally different change because everybody has a camera, everybody has an editing program on their, like, it's so much easier to make that content. So you can actually, you can be a YouTuber. You don't have to go the